Video based off our picks for the Pipe Masters. The Vans Pipe Masters, a special invitational event. This is not the main starting CT event. This is not part of the CT tour. That event comes later on. This is for the Vans specialty event they're putting on. The new Pipe Masters, and it's an invite only, and there's some CT spots available. There's spots to Hawaiian blooded surfers, and then there's spots to specialists. And so we're going over our picks for who we think is the highest potential to win, and then we're also going over our Bet Online picks. So Bet Online has odds up on all the athletes in this event, and so we're going to go over who we think has the best chances of winning. Okay, so if you're just looking at based off like, hey, who's gonna be, if you're not betting and like who's gonna be killing it in this event, you have to go for some of these bigger picks like John, Jamie, Seth, because these guys have competed at Pipe a lot, and they've competed in CT events, they've competed in normal events, the Vulcan Pipe Pro when that was happening, the Triple Crown. Tons of experience out there, not just skilled barrel riders, but skilled competitive surfers. So those are great picks for that type of thing. And then you have these outlier picks, which would be like just looking at, hey, who's good out at Pipe, right? You have me, Koa, Eli, Jamie, obviously one of those. Mason is one of those. Ivan is one of those. You have these, Mackay and Balaram. Obviously, he won last year. And Joey Johnson, guys that are, when you would say specialist barrel riders around Pipe, and then you have guys that are just specialist barrel riders in the world, right? You have Emio and Matahi from Tahiti, Bruno Santos, like you've seen him in the Tahiti trials, he always does really good there, really great barrel rider. Russell Burke, he's ready to go on a heavy wave if it comes through and we have the conditions. So a lot to sort through here in based off picks. But you go and take all that and you put, on the women's side, on that note, you have like Carissa is in the event, Moana is in the event, and right away Carissa and Moana, who nobody's had more experience, I think, in competing out at Pipe than them, maybe Tyler Wright. I'm automatically going to think Moana because I've just never seen any other girl put more time in than her. And all that practice does pay off. Like, she has a better awareness of the lineup out there and waves and stuff. Carissa's competed and done really well out there a bunch too. So you think of that kind of stuff, but then you think, hey, outlier specialists. I would put Coco in the category before, just local, having spent a little more time out there than most of the other girls that are in the event. Then you look at someone like Sierra Kerr, grows it up in Australia under Josh Kerr.
And also he did phenomenally well last year.
Yes, did super good. That's a good point.
In the contest.
Mahina commentated the event last year and did beach interviews and will be doing so this year as well. So she will be back. A lot of you guys asked for her to do the commentation again. Everyone loved her doing it. She has great insights into this type of thing. So yeah, Sierra Kerr did great last year here in Hawaii, and she's proven herself at waves like the box and other slabs and certain things like that. And DeSantos, I've seen her around some of the slabs, ship sterns and chopes this year. So you look at girls.
Erin Brooks, that's another one.
Yep,
yeah,
I saw her out the other day.
For years. You saw her out there the other day.
Yeah, she was out the other day. And then Sophie Bell, we seen her on a trip. She was at Namibia. So you think, as far as the girls go, who's had time practicing in barrels? It pays off. But then, coming back to the odds, right? You have, what can I find a combination? If I'm thinking about betting, it's who has the highest payout and then the highest skill. And so for me, if I'm going to bet, I'd want a larger payout. Benji. Why? Because you want to do that?
I was going to choose Benji.
I'm going Benji, Matahi, and I'm going to go Benji, Matahi, and Ivan. I'm editing this, and I'm going to also throw in Makana Pang. Time spent out at Pipe, experience, skill, and his odds are really high to bet a little, win a lot. And if you look at that skill versus odds combination, McConaughey is a great pick for my bets.
Ooh, Ivan did really well last year.
Ivan has this, like, you would think he'd be the type of guy that not, like, do well in contests because he's just stylish and kind of reserved and, like, that type. But he gets in a heat and he gets super fired up and he does really well. He has, like, some heat luck. So
He does.
I would say, yeah, Ivan, Benji, and Matahi are my picks based off, like, talent and the odds placed on the website for them.
Okay. So Benji and Ivan were definitely in my initial pick, but I want to do something different. I'm going to go really mixed up here because I love a quote-unquote underdog. My picks... Okay, so I was going to pick Benji and Ivan, but because I want to do something different, I would say, versus the odds, I would make so much money if this worked out in my favor, would be Emio from Tahiti, Joey Johnson from here in Hawaii, and my third pick would be, he's a little bit higher in the rankings, but Makai McNamara, because he's been surfing pipe.
You wouldn't pick me?
His whole life. We have to make it fair. Of course, you're my number one. Of course, I will pick you in everything, but I can't. That's just too obvious of a question.
Okay, the ladies, I'm just gonna go Moana. I think just like, that would just have to be part of the betting list because she's so much experience out there. I'm going Moana, Sierra Kerr, Bethany Hamilton is my picks. Bethany has tons of experience out there, and in multiple big waves. I've seen her at Chopes, I've seen her at Pipe, and last year she was sending it. Remember, she got like
forget
the one she almost made was like super crazy.
I don't know how she does it.
Obviously, Carissa is like a power in this ranking here, but her odds are just plus 105. Like, it's like you wouldn't win much there, but it's a higher chance. But
I'm not discussing this with you before because you take all the people I say.
Bethany is plus 8,000. So
Sierra Kerr for sure, I think, has a running. But again, like I said, I'm gonna do different. Aaron Brooks. Okay, so Sierra Kerr was definitely on the top of my list, but because I'm gonna do something different from what Nathan said, I would say Laura Eniver. Are you kidding me? She sends it every time. She
charges, and that's plus 6,600.
Plus 6,600. Let's go. Come on, Laura. And this one's going to be higher up in the rankings. Would be Betty Lou. I think she can do it this year. So those would be my three picks. Betty Lou, Aaron Brooks, and Laura Eniver.
Okay. Those are the picks for the Vans Pipe Masters. I mean, the forecast looks like there's a swell right now. Let's hope it's like legit pipe. We're all hoping it's like super legit pipe, or there's gonna be guys that specialize in.
Or we're gonna redo this.
There's a few air guys in a barrel contest that should do well if it's not 10-foot pipe.
Yeah.
And we also, just as an addition, last time we did a video like this for the Eddie, we forgot to say Luke Shepherdson, and he had a plus 10,000 odds, and he won the Eddie. So if anyone had bet on Luke, plus 10,000.
Yeah.
So I mean,
that was awesome.
The way the format is just everyone surfs 3 times, but the guys in the last heat, you might surf in the morning and it's terrible.
Yeah.
And then the guys that don't have scores to go to the final, they might surf in their last heat and it's pumping. Like last year, what happened was the final was set, but the last heat went out and it was pumping during that heat, and 3 people from that heat qualified for the final just in that heat because it pumped the whole heat. So they got 2 good waves, whereas like the heats earlier, you're not judged against the other guys in your heat. You're judged against everyone in the event, and they surf in different windows for you. So there is like, on some levels, hey, we all get to surf multiple times, no first round elimination. That's epic. But on another level, you're not competing against just what the other guys in your heat are competing. It's not same conditions, like which a normal event has. You know everyone's surfing the same conditions in the same heat, but in this, You surf a morning heat when it's small and morning sickness on the ocean. That afternoon, guys surfing, it's 10 foot and pumping. And those guys are going to the final because they can get the score. So there is that give and take. Yeah.
It's a given. It's totally a give
to the format. Whereas you are surfing against people who might be surfing a lot better pipe than you or a lot worse pipe than you. How are you going to judge, like, if it's 4 to 6 in the morning and you get a 6 foot barrel and it's a great barrel for that heat? How are you going to judge that barrel against someone in the later heat that gets a 10 foot barrel? You're like, well,
that's why I'm not a judge.
Yeah, that's tough. Okay,
you can talk about the judges.
Picks down below in the comments, and that's all we got for you. So we'll put the link to the website and the betting site in the description.